What's up, everybody? I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump in my '05 WRX today. Never worked on a fuel pump before, so a little nervous, but all the videos and stuff I've seen doesn't look like it's too complicated. It looks like it's a little messy though, so you just need to make sure you have a rag and stuff. I'm going to be installing the Walbro fuel pump. I hear that it's a little bit longer than the fitment in the fuel assembly, so you're going to have to like maybe bend the bracket at the bottom a little bit, but overall it doesn't seem like anyone has any issues with it, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, so fuel pump assembly comes like that. I already put on the tubing and the wiring. Also comes with a new pouch. Good idea to have rags and stuff just ready to go. This even in a little drain bucket, because the fuel assembly is more than likely going to be draining fuel. I also got a new gasket. I always see that people get these too. Usually they're going to be all corroded and messed up when you take the old one out. Alright, so let's see how this goes. So in order to get to the fuel pump, you're going to have to take your back seat out first. It's really easy. I already got it taken out, but there's two screws that are going to be down here. I can't find the hole right here. So there's going to be two screws. One's right here, the other one's on the same location on the other side. I think so the screws might even look close like that, but pretty easy. You just take that out. That takes the bottom out. Then there will be the insulation shield, or whatever this is called. That's going to be on this side also. I already took it out though. I took out this bar too. It wasn't too hard, really quick, but I think it's going to be easier just to work with. Yeah, it didn't take too hard. And then the cover is held down by 4 Phillip head screws. So that would be on there. Unscrew that. And then you have access to the fuel tank and stuff. So here are the fuel lines. Remember, you need to disconnect the battery before you do and mess with any of this stuff, and then also release the fuel pressure by opening up the fuel tank. So very important. Again, I don't understand fully why that's important, but just make sure to do it. Okay. After you get the cover off, what we're going to do now, there's 8mm screws or nuts. You're going to want to take all 8 of those out. When you take this out, or more than likely it's still going to have fuel in this line, so it's going to kind of spray out. So you're going to want to get a rag and stuff. Make sure that it's right there, because it's going to start to get a little bit messy. So first, you can start disconnecting stuff. Take these out. And then, yeah, we'll have access to it. Okay, so I got the 8mm nuts out. Getting ready to take this thing out. And expecting it to be kind of messy a little bit. So hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, almost got everything off. Running into a little bit of a problem. Got all the bolts off. All the nuts, all the lines and connectors have been disconnected, and I can't get this thing out. Wants to come out, almost does. I can finally see the assembly, but it's caught on something. So yeah, gotta try to figure this shit out. Alright, finally got it out. This is what it looks like. You don't want to leave this open for too long. I'm going to get a towel to kind of cover that up, so that way no dust and stuff gets in it, because this is pretty messy. But yep, this is it. As you can see, there's this fuel going to be leaking. So make sure you got all the stuff to clean things up, because it's might be a little bit messy. Alright, so overall wasn't too bad at all to get the assembly and everything out. You just had to kind of work it for a little while. mostly because of the seal. So that's why you're gonna have to replace this, because more than likely you're gonna be tearing this thing up. But you're gonna be replacing that, the pouch, the filter. Luckily it looks like they already used a Walbro last time, so it looks like this won't have an issue fitting in, so that's gonna be cool. This little bumper thing right here, that's for your fuel gauge. That's a little floater. Shows how much fuel you have in it, so don't bend that. Make sure you're careful with that, or else your gauge won't be accurate. Alright, so I'm gonna take this thing out and put in the new one. Also, overall, this thing wasn't messy at all, but it was because I had only a quarter of a tank or so in my gas tank. So if you can keep it to about a quarter of a tank whenever you're going to work on the gas tank, that's probably ideal, so it's not as messy, because yeah, it will spray everywhere if you have a lot. All right. So this is why my car would not start. It wanted to, it tried, but it couldn't. Make sure when you put the little pouch on, that on the reverse side, there's a little place for this little washer. Your kit should come with it, but yeah, make sure to put that on there, lock it in. This thing is not easy to put on. It's always the smallest thing that gets you hung up. Alright, finally got that shit on. That was hard, but now I know this shit is not coming off. You're gonna have to cut the tubing that it comes with, because it's gonna be just a little bit too long. But this one comes, like, if when you cut it in half, it actually ends up being the length, so now you got an extra one. Alright, I think it's all ready to go. Got the connectors back, everything. This thing did have to bend the bracket a little bit, but now that I think about it, not sure if it's better. You could have just probably shortened that just a tad bit more, the actual tubing. Maybe I wouldn't have to do that, but everyone that I've seen put this one in, they say they end up having to bend the bracket a little bit for it to fit. So I'm gonna put it back in now. Putting this thing in. As you can see, you're gonna have to maneuver it kinda. Be careful with the little floaty. All right, got the fuel pump back in. It's all connected back up. Now I'm just going to connect the battery, and then we should be ready to start it. All right, just got the new fuel pump in. Gonna leave the cap open just in case, there's any issues. That way I can just get back to it. So, moment of truth, here we go. Could hear it. It's on. is running good. Everything seems to be working okay. No check engine light. Temperature, everything's good. Fuel gauge is working. Looks like we did it. First time working on the fuel pump.